This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rajni Jain. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajani. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lakshmipati and I will be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Dr. Priyabrata Das, the co-founder and CTO of Napur Organics, Bangalore, Karnataka. Dr. Priyabrata Das will be speaking on the topic how smart devices, AI, ML, will revolutionize modern agriculture. I now request the speaker to begin.
Thank you, sir.
You're
Good
welcome.
afternoon, everyone. I'll my presentation is visible to everybody.
No, not right now.
Share your screen, sir. Yeah, go to your presentation. Put this in a slideshow mode, sir.
Yeah. Should be visible now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. As sir introduced myself, Priyabrata Das, and I am a co-founder at Napur Organics, and I also have another organization which is called Sensiot uh, Technologies, and we specialize in smart devices and platform, and agriculture is a key focus area. And Napur as an organization is also focusing on the organic and sustainable agri ecosystem. So in this presentation, I will try to cover at a high level uh, the devices, the instrumentation, and the platform elements that are currently prevalent in India as well as in rest of the world, and how it is going to help in terms of crop management, soil monitoring, and different other aspects of agri-economics. So I am a technologist by background, and I have very basic understanding of agriculture as a domain. So I would like to know and I would like to educate myself from your experience. As I understand, this is a forum predominantly from addressing the agri community. All right. So I'll just highlight the agenda items. Today, in this brief session, we will cover the overall aspect of agri IoT, the ecosystem. Then we'll discuss smart farming and smart irrigation as special use cases, because these are the specific pain points or improvement area that we see needs optimization. Then we will also get into some level of depth for soil and crop sensing. What are the current technology and what are the current devices that are being used? How accurate, how reliable are they? And most importantly, how will it be economically feasible to deploy? Then we'll get into the tools and methods which are currently being used for monitoring and planning and agri management. And AI/ML is a little more advanced topic. So when we have lot of data, we have methodologies where there is automation in decision making, artificial intelligence and machine learning help in a big way in terms of providing the intelligence for agri domain decisions. Then I will also briefly touch upon the agri platform as a service that we have built over the years, and then the deployment aspect uh, in a nutshell. All right. So when we come to agri IoT, in a very simplistic definition, uh, as depicted in this picture, it is about the devices that we can deploy in a field or on a plant or on a machine, like here you can see a tractor, and then monitor, uh, capture, process, and analyze. So this is all about agri IoT. And it has been there in some form. If you see certain countries like North America, Canada, Europe, even Australia, where the manpower has been has not been the strength. They don't have enough manpower, enough laborers, field labors. Then they deploy machines, and so in a way it is not a new thing, but it has evolved, it has matured, and it has become sustainable. So we can now classify it as a branch of technology called agri IoT. Right. So as I said, in agri IoT, we have this element of smart control, smart monitoring, and smart planning. I mean, these can be the three verticals when it comes to agri IoT. So basically, when you say smart monitoring, I mean, what can we monitor or what needs to be monitored? The nature, the element of nature, which is light, the soil, water, temperature, etc. So there can be other more specific elements to monitor, like the chemicals or the minerals that are there on the soil, which is broadly categorized under soil monitoring. It is still evolving. We are, I would say, we are not even 10% mature in terms of understanding the parameters that needs to be monitored, and to the extent it needs to be monitored. So once this gets monitored, we also need to control. So the moment you have actionable intelligence, like the water level has come down, or phosphorus is coming down, potassium is coming down, or other kind of geo logical changes are detected. So what needs to be controlled, what needs to be managed, so those aspects are also part of the agri IoT as a solution. And then of course the planning aspect. So when I know that there will be the climatic changes, there will be certain geological changes, there will be certain climatic changes, and other kind of monitoring inputs that are available with us. Based on that, I can plan what kind of crop I need to plan, what kind of yield I can expect, what kind of logistics that I will require, etc. All right. So these are, I would say, like if you look at this picture, I mean, these are at a very high level, and the way we are analyzing it is also evolving. I would say we are just at the surface level. We are touching the surface. So now, as I said, like the the aspects of agri IoT are of three dimension. That is monitor, control, and plan. And as a solution, we can call it as a smart farm. So if you see the process here, you can, it has been enumerated, like how you integrate the monitoring data into an IT system. For example, you are capturing the data from the soil, we are capturing the data from weather, and then we are capturing the sensor data and other instrumentation data. Then uh, this gets communicated through gateway devices, and you can use a cloud, you can use a private cloud or a public cloud, and then you use your database, then you do analysis, and then you come at actionable data. For example, there is check water levels in zone 5, then there is an alert in terms of yield lower than last week due to increase in pest infestation, or alert check cattle health on recent disease advisory. So this is not just about crop, but it is also about cattle and other forms of agriculture. So then of course, you have to manage. The moment you get actionable intelligence, you need to work on the management aspect of it, uh, like applying certain treatment, controlling irrigation, etc. And then the security and the protection aspect of the data, which is again the IT. So you can clearly see there is a agree element to it, there is a instrumentation element to that, and then there is an IT element to that. So that comprises the whole smart farm as a solution. Another very targeted use case is smart irrigation. I'm sure most of you are aware of it and probably have used it in certain ways. But now it has been done in a industrial scale, in a larger scale, and it is covering certain regions, um, so that it is making an impact as a whole. So and again, like when we consider the tools and methods, there are two. One is the aerial method, another one is the on the surface. So the way the motors, the pumps and the pipelines uh, are connected and controlled, that are varying, and there are different thought process. There is a debate, like some people argue in the drone approach, for the drone approach, where the drone can cover a larger area, and also will be having certain camera controls and other instrumentation control for doing differential irrigation, so that the plant or the group of plant or a zone in a field gets the required water as on a runtime analysis basis, real time analysis basis, whereas the cost factor is slightly higher because the drones are still not very cheap. uh, and then the other approach, where you use a microcontroller and a localized automation system to automate the pumps, and then you have control valves in a pipe, and then the type of soil and the type of crop that needs different type of water supply. So that kind of methods are also being used. So there is nothing like a wrong or right approach. It is basically the need based on the soil type, crop type, seasonal requirement, that this approach can be taken. So then we come to the monitoring aspect, and one of the key element that needs to be monitored is the soil. And in soil, as far as we understand, a technologist, there are 4 or 5 key parameters that needs to be uh, monitored, that needs to be measured. One of them is pH, and then the temperature, humidity, moisture. I mean, all of you know that one is the vaporized form of water, another is water, and the NPK parameter. So the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. There are more actually. So I am told, and our study team is continuously working with the agri scientists and domain experts. There are a lot more parameters that needs to be monitored and measured, but these are the things which has been done in a larger scale, and those who make impact, tangible impact. So other than soil, then again the crop sensing, and again the crop sensing has a lot of new advances that has happened in the last few years. So one basic principle that is used here is the principle of optics. I mean, you call it a spectral sensors, where the lights reflect based on the surface. And in this example, you see there is a leaf which is a healthy leaf, and there is a leaf which is a dry leaf or not healthy leaf. And to the extent the rays are getting reflected varies, like the RGB and N rays. These are profiled, these are characterized, and the devices can unambiguously detect that there is an issue in terms of the plant crop health. Based on that, there are other chemical analysis, biochemical analysis, which also detects other parameters in the plant, where the root health, the stem health, and fruit health, flower health, etc. So for the sake of brevity, I will not be covering that. I mean, of course, that is something we can discuss in greater detail, case by case. So here, I mean, this is the example of a healthy sugar beet and a stressed sugar beets, and you see the red one, how the wavelength has varied, which is basically the wavelength of the light. So based on these methods, I mean, we come to this topic of soil mapping, because when it comes to agriculture, we don't deal with a single plant or a square meter of a land crop field. It has to be at a macro level, like acres and acres of land, and probably even larger mapping areas which will encompass a territory, like south of India or southeast of India, northeast of India, etc., etc. So, and this is again a very advanced science and engineering and agri tech innovation that is happening, and we are still in the ramping process. Again, the key variables that have been found to make an impact are these SCORPAN, which is the soil, climate, organism, relief, parent material, time, and location. So based on that, I mean, you see the 3D analysis is showing the topsoil, the subsoil, and the parent material of a particular region, and with all the satellite imagery, the GPS mechanisms, and geolocation tracking through 4G and 5G communication, and now there is another one, LoRa. So based on that, you can actually profile a whole country, you can profile a whole region at a global level. So going a little bit into the tools and the processes of this, you have these three stages of DSM. Stage one is legacy soil data, where the soil sampling, the survey part is done, the secondary data is collected, then the environmental GIS database is created, which includes the images and the climate data and the maps. And then, so this is the raw data, which gets translated into information or intelligence, which is of relevance to the experts and the technical team, which is scientists and technicians, and scientific advisors. So there are tools, commercially available tools that are available to analyze. Like when you sit on these data are basically terabytes of data, trillions of Excel, trillions of records in database, in Excel sheets, in raw form, and again there are millions of images that gets collected, captured in real-time basis, um, which which is used to create the soil information system. Like you must have heard these terms called GIS, right, or geographic information system. So this these DSM tools and DSM methods will lead us to create a SIS, soil information system, and these are all temporal and spatial. So you create a digital soil assessment then you create spatial database uh, it's part of the outputs of this system, which has different meaning for different stakeholders. Of course, the agri ecosystem includes the farming community, the agri departments of government, the private sectors, then the financial institutions like the banks and FIs who are into agri finances, the rural development institutions. So all these are recipients of such data from a soil information system. And this is slightly more uh, abstract because people still don't understand it and in terms of its implication and applications, but this is the future of agriculture, as has been highlighted in the topic itself. So when we come to AI is artificial intelligence and ML is machine learning. Now, what is AI and what is ML in a generic term? AI is artificial intelligence, as the name suggests. We have decision support systems and decision models which mimic the human intelligence or human IQ, the way we think, the way we analyze data or information based on the inputs that we receive from our natural sensors, like eye, nose, ear, touch and smell. So like, how do I know that a particular fruit is ripe or not? I look at it or I smell to know that it's ripe, and then how do I know that this is a tomato plant and this is an watermelon plant? So I have visual perception and I have created my own knowledge base, right? So similarly, the plant identification is an evolving field of AI, where there is a plant database, plant, flower, fruit, crop. So that database is being created, and it is being maintained, and uh, it is still not centralized. That means you will not find a universal database like Google for plant or for even for agriculture. So people are doing it at a local level. So as you can see, there are apps which can actually identify a plant by taking a picture of the flower or other parts of the plant. Then there is a plant health monitoring artificial intelligence algorithm, where you take some pictures and you can put sensors, two way. One is invasive, another is non-invasive. So in non-invasive, you mostly rely on OCR, optical recognition. So here you take an image and then you analyze and then figure out whether it is healthy, stressed, not healthy, dead, like that. And then the invasive way is about, just like we do our blood test or our biological tests. So this will take certain uh, fluid, certain other tissues, and then we'll try to analyze and give some recommendation, advisory. Again, it requires a lot of domain involvement. So it is not that the machine is self-sufficient. The machine will work with domain experts or specialists, just like a doctor is required even in telemedicine. Here we will need an agri scientist or agri expert to validate the health parameters for the plants. And then the quality analysis of the crop or the fruits, where like you see, there will be like millions and trillions of such images, cross section of images, which will identify whether a particular batch of fruits or vegetables are good for shipment, good for consumption, or good for storage. So So as I said, this is evolving, and these are some of the very high level snapshot of what is being used in certain countries. We don't see a lot of them in India, although I have started seeing some of them in certain stores where people are trying to put certain barcodes and markers just to tag them as, you know, organic, no pesticide, etc. But it's a long way to go for this AI and ML to penetrate into the mass deployment. And this one is again of significant interest to the agri community because it is about yield prediction. So this is very scientific, and again this is heuristic. So a lot of data is required to fine tune these models. When we have, like, I can predict that this could be your yield for maize, or this could be your yield for potato. I mean, I have been taking certain parameters like the climate in the last 2 months, 3 months, the last week yield versus this week yield, last year yield versus this year yield, then the treatment that soil was the treatment was that was used on the soil, and then the other parameters like the water level and the climate temperature, etc. So with all these variables, the decision system is trying to predict an yield with certain degree of accuracy, uh, not quantifiable. It is still in trial, and I see it is one of the biggest disruption that can happen in the agri ecosystem, because this has a direct impact on the financial institutions. When the farmer is applying for loan, or the banks are assessing certain zones for sanctioning agri funds, these will be the primary criteria. Right. So the technology aspect is, again, there are three verticals for achieving whatever we discussed so far in terms of monitoring, planning, controlling. Uh, we call ABI, application interface, and I mean, these are some of the IT terms like co-op or M2M, machine to machine. So machine to machine, I'm just telling at a very high level, is like how, let us say I have a smart tiller or a smart tractor, and then I have a sensor in the soil. So the sensor in the soil will actually communicate with the sensor in the tractor, or the tiller or the pump, and try to control the flow of water in that section of the land. So in this case, as you can see, two machines are interacting with each other, and then the REST and HTTPS are protocols for data transmission. And cloud, we all know there are clouds, public clouds and private clouds like Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, IBM, Google Compute, etc. And the government of India is also has been working for creating their own cloud, domain clouds, education, healthcare, agri, etc. So security and compliance is also important in terms of API development. And again, devices, we have like nodes, sensors, gateways, smart irrigation, air and water quality monitoring devices, remote parameter devices, etc. And the other is more about the chipset and the silicon and the electronics of it. So at Napur, we have created certain solutions, and they're available as apps uh, for evaluation. And this is available for farmers, this is available for agri community, financial institutions. So one of them is basically for the sensor and nodes configuration, installation, setup. So we have done that for certain areas like in Maharashtra, some sugarcane fields. and in certain parts of Tamil Nadu in turmeric fields. And the other one is the Napur app, which is basically for the crop aspect, sourcing and logistics and things like that. And then we also the last one is basically a last mile, just like this last mile delivery of food is done, like so many Swiggy, Zomato, and Food Panda apps are there. So these are nothing but such app for agri ecosystem partners, like a farmer or a wholesaler. But then there are certain other innovation which is beyond the scope of this discussion. We will be, obviously I can take queries on that on a one-to-one basis. Yeah, so this is about our organization. We are based out of Bangalore. We operate from Hyderabad, and we have an office in Netherlands. And as I told, the agri part of the business is called Napur, and the automation, the electronics part of the business is Sensiot. And I am the co-founder for both the companies. So that's about the presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Priyabrata, for an excellent and informative presentation. I request the participants to ask their questions. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window, so that if you don't have time to take up all your questions, you can contact the speaker separately also after the meeting. Now over to the participants for questions. The first question is from Mr. Subramanian. Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Subramanian.
So I'm from Chennai. Yes, sir. I'm from Chennai. I want to know, do you build these solutions and sell them? And if so, what are the kind of cost structure?
Yes, so we build the solution and offer it as a commercial product, uh, and it is actually not off the shelf, because every client has its custom requirement. So there is if you take a smart irrigation as an example, so we do certain requirement analysis for your requirement in terms of crop, your soil data, uh, and your demography. Then we work with your other parameters, like how you get connectivity, how is your 4G, or how is your internet connectivity, and then what is your power requirement. Do you, like, for example, do you already have a power room where you power all your pumps? Then so based on that we create a solution, and the cost structure also depends on that.
See, I'm more interested in sensor-based solution, which picks up parameters like pH and moisture and all that. And there's a closed loop, and I should be able to.
Huh,
It should also guide me that
huh,
next week you can sort of uh,
huh,
so much of water is good enough, or your pH is high, and hence you have to lower the pH, and hence you have to add whatever.
yeah,
So some solution of that sort, which is a closed loop
yeah,
system, which probably may be on the cloud, and maybe you will also have the meteorological data and probably match
mm,
it or whatever. So do you have a complete solution of that sort? I've seen some in the US. I'm looking for one in India. In fact, I even tried to mentor a
mm,
group of young students
mm, mm.
because I am from the AIML area. I am from farming, and I'm
Mm.
also serial entrepreneur in the software
Okay,
industry. So
great,
I
okay.
tried with those guys. They were all college students, and they were very enthusiastic. But by the time they passed, they all left for
Huh,
jobs and left for US and all that. So I'm
yeah,
looking for a solution of that sort, which I think will make a lot of sense, especially with so many people getting into farming who are all from industry, who may be part-time farmers and all that. Even integrating it into a into another system where they can monitor from home. They should have a video system and all that. So I think some kind of a system of that sort. But primarily, I'm looking at the sensor-based, probes based, and 3-4 parameters which we can monitor in the plant, and maybe not very big areas, maybe 5 to 10 acres kind of lands.
Yeah, correct. So, yes, I mean, as I had mentioned in the presentation, pH, temperature, humidity, moisture, and NPK are already in mass production. So we can
Oh,
provide the solution, as a complete solution. In fact, the research is on to add a few more, and we need somebody like you, as a mentor to advise, like like when it comes to sugarcane, paddy, wheat,
right,
spices, the instrumentation are different, and we are actually expecting different levels of accuracy. All right. So,
okay,
I mean, somebody mentioned that the devices that we had used in the sugarcane cannot be used in coffee plantation,
right,
because of the delay factor, because like the soil has certain ability to hold water for certain duration.
right.
So these sensors, they have certain parameter where they can just read the moisture level or the water level at a particular time, like t is equal to 12 o'clock mid in
Okay,
a day, but it needs to be averaged out in a duration of 1 week to understand how the soil is holding water. And
right.
in case of coffee, they actually want that value to be reduced. So the soil should not hold water, whereas in sugarcane the soil should hold water.
Yeah.
So that way, we are trying to customize the parameters, and we are trying to also do the calibration
So
accordingly.
maybe we should connect up offline. Let me not take too much
Absolutely.
of the time of others. So let's
Yeah,
connect
I
offline.
correct. I am very keen to interact with you, because you said you have already mentored, and we need a somebody to mentor us on this. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Will do. Thanks a lot.
Subramanian.
You're welcome,
Next
sir.
question from Mr. Shirish. Mr. Shirish? All right, I think he is not available right now. Mr. Ajit Chowgule? Mr. Ajit Chowgule is also not available. Okay. Who is interested to ask the next question, please? Mr. Uday Kumar? Yes, Mr.
Thank
Uday Kumar?
you, sir. Sir, do you have any? Yeah, yeah, sir. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Hello. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
you are audible,
Sir,
Mr. Uday
is there
Kumar.
any
Please
success
go.
story working with a farm? Hello.
Yes, Mr. Uday Kumar, please go ahead with your question. Mr. Uday Kumar?
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead. Uh,
Sir,
Participants,
have
are you
any
all able
success
to hear
stories
me?
working with a farmer producer organization in a large scale? Yeah. Do you have, because different farmers are in a different place and different crop there. How?
We are losing. I
Hello.
think you can type your question on the chat window.
Have some.
Can you do that? Okay, let me go over to Mr.
Sir, I'll do
Shirish.
that. I'll do that. Yeah.
Mr. Shirish, please pose your question.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Das. I'm Shirish calling from Hyderabad. Good to have you on the show. Beautiful presentation. I just wanted to know what is the affordability level of the farmers and the feasibility level?
Very, very important question. This is something we have been trying to solve for the last 1.5 year now. I mean, even before the pandemic. Excuse me. So, to answer your question, to be honest, 99% of your farmers cannot afford such solution at a retail level. So what we are trying to do is working with NGOs and institutions, including the government, the Department of Agriculture, of different states, and there are certain investment that are coming from insurance companies, the financial institutions, which can fund some of those equipments, if not all. So ideally, we would like to give it as a zero cost. I mean, from the farmer point of view, it should be a zero cost deployment, and we will need to generate funding for investing in such devices and platform and technologies. But then as a IT company, as a technology company, um, it is not easy to generate fund. I mean, we all know that we have so many entrepreneurs in the group, I presume. So this is one of the hardest problem we are still trying to solve.
Right, sir.
Interesting.
And do you have any R&D facility in India? Thank you.
Yeah. It is a completely 100% make in India lab, and till last year, of course, a lot of the sensors were imported because in India we still don't have sensors. We used to import from Austria, Spain, Italy, China, and other countries. But the devices as such, the motherboard and the electronics is made in India. Is a completely 100% make in India product.
Yeah, one last question from me. Where is the biggest adapted agricultural land that you have in India? Thank you.
The biggest is basically Western Maharashtra, where there are like the larger patches of sugarcane belt.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
You.
Thank you.
Right, Mr. Uday Kumar, if you are not able to post your question in the chat window, can you repeat your question now?
Uh, I see one question in the chat window from Mr. Uday. Do you
Okay,
have any
we'll
success?
take up questions
Yeah.
from the chat window later.
Yes, sir. I have posted.
See if the participants are interested to post their question, post their questions directly. Yes, Mr. Ajit Chowgule. Mr. Ajit Chowgule. Oh, let's move over to the chat window because we are not able to hear anything. Right. The first question is, let me read out the question, Dr. Priyabrata. One question
So,
from Gayatri. Do you
uh,
have any AI technology to detect disease and first occurrence prior to symptoms appears on leaves, flowers, and fruits? Please answer.
yes. So, so this is precisely was addressed in one of the slides. If you remember, we tried to use reflectometry for leaves and the biochemical analysis on the fruits and vegetables. So answer is we have the technology. How accurate, how reliable is still under R&D because it is in terms of the stressed crop, like whether the plant or the fruit is is not nourished or is not healthy, will not come under healthy category due to lack of water or lack of certain nutrients, is what we are able to predict. But when it comes to the diseases, the understanding of the disease is something the machine is still learning. I hope I answered this question.
Okay, Mati, maybe one Galaxy must have understood. Okay, next question from Mr. Akhil. Can you screen organic fresh fruit and vegetables instantly by using any IoT device?
Mm, well, okay. So today we don't use a device because people don't appreciate uh, invasive methods. Like if you put a wire or a chip in a mango, uh, people will anyway not like it, right? So we make it non-invasive, like camera based analysis. In fact, there are apps which can do that, and we are also using a device which is externally capturing the pictures of the fruits and vegetables, and we are doing it at a OCR level, that is optical character recognition level. So far we don't want to plant any probe inside a fruit or inside any plant, uh, just to preserve the element of nature, so that people have trust in the process.
Thank you. Next question from Mr. Galaxy. Is there any AI technology to detect the moisture in the leaves and decide the irrigation scheduling?
Absolutely, this is very matured. It is done in a very large scale, both in our country as well as abroad, and the moisture detection as well as humidity detection is nearly 100% accurate. And based on that, we are doing the irrigation control. It has been done, actually initially it was done as a POC in a 2-acre guava plantation in Raipur, near Raipur in Chhattisgarh, where it was accurate up to a single plant. Like, a plant would notify whether it is stressed for water. Then the irrigation to that particular tree was released. So it is done.
Okay, thank you. Next, here is a question from Mr. Uday Kumar. Do you have any success story working with FPO to centralize system where small holding farmers will be in different places?
Yeah. So that is what. So as I told, 99% of our farmers, the end farmer, cannot afford such technology. So we will work with certain institutions and organizations, whether it is NGO or part of the ministry, uh, where they will fund such technology, and we try to generate funds from our sources. It has not been easy so far, but that is the approach. We expect the cooperative model, or so-called Amul model, where 20 farmers collaborate and deploy this technology, preferably in a area which is adjacent and geographically similar. Now if you want to create such a cooperative approach between farmers across the states, like one in Himachal, another in Telangana, another in Gujarat, then there are challenges, because the data that would be captured for each of them are not shareable, or that may not be relevant.
Right. Next question from Mr. Ajit Chaugle. Do you have full complete solution for sugarcane?
I need to understand what he means by
Complete solution.
complete
That means
solution. Huh.
finding out the problem with your smart devices and then having a solution for sugarcane management.
I think he has written something else. Uh, do you have sensors which can sort fruits on the basis of sweetness? Fruit fly inside mango pulp, fruit borer. Oh, these, yeah, no, not yet. These are something work in progress. The sorting and the logistic is now done. We are trying to do the grading algorithm for non-perishable, like among the fruits and vegetables. If you consider the potato category, or the one that are non-perishable or that can be stored for a longer period, we are doing the sorting and grading algorithms on them. Fruits and vegetables, because we need to do that in a period of maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, that is still work in progress.
What Mr. Ajit Chaugle would have meant was whether you have taken up any complete solution cases, solution offering cases for farmers for sugarcane across Maharashtra? If so, where in Maharashtra? You have given
It's in Western Maharashtra, Nasik, and some other places which I am not able to remember. But it is not entire Maharashtra. It is that belt. They call it as a sugarcane belt,
I see.
Western
Okay.
Maharashtra, and it is not complete solution for according to me, because it was primarily for the irrigation. The smart irrigation was the solution they were interested particularly, because in some cases the water was supplied more than what is required, in some cases it was less than it was required, so they had signed up for the smart irrigation solution.
Okay, here's a question from Mr. Uday Kumar. To convert 20 acres into smart farming, what will be the investment?
Yeah, so these are commercial things, so I need to answer it in a one to one, because I need to understand some more parameters, um, including the requirement and other factors, like as I mentioned, the 7 values that we capture. So I will be
Okay.
able to discuss, yeah, one to one.
Okay. 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 Next question from Galaxy. Will this AI technology help to identify nutrient deficiencies in the leaves prior to their visible symptoms?
Sir, can you repeat nutrient deficiency?
Yes. Yes.
Nutrient deficiency, see, today it is NPK, that nitrogen, potassium, and and phosphorus. Uh, we are still working on other factors, like we are trying to do a fructose analysis, we are trying to do uh, the enzyme analysis. I mean, the biochemistry aspect is still not covered here. It is purely from the soil minerals. If you are asking for the fruit mineral or the crop mineral, I mean, it is the crop mineral that we are addressing now, not the fruit minerals.
Right. Next question is from Mr. Subbaram. Mr. Subbaram, please post your.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Is there any smart irrigation?
Yes, please go ahead. Mr. Subbaram, please repeat your question.
Is there any smart button or mango group?
You heard that question,
Hello.
Dr. Priyabrata?
No, I could not actually,
Okay,
unfortunately.
your voice was cracking. Mr.
Sir,
Subbaram, so go over again. Please repeat your question.
sir, is there any smart watering process?
No, we didn't hear.
Hello.
Mr. Subbaram, you are requested to put
Sir,
off your camera and ask.
can you hear me?
Your audio will be better.
Yeah.
Please put off camera and ask. Please switch off your camera. Now you please pose your question.
And is there any smart irrigation process for mango gardening? Hello.
Yes, now I
Mango.
got it. Yes, Dr. Priyabrata, you want to know whether there is any smart irrigation project for smart. What is that?
Mango garden.
Mango,
Yeah,
for
garden.
mango, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
No, we do not have any project on mango. As I mentioned, we have 2 smart irrigation projects. One is sugarcane, another is turmeric.
So turmeric.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Next, Mr. Joseph Brito. Mr. Joseph Brito.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati.
Welcome. Mr. Brito, your mic is off. Can you put on your mic? Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I would like to know if you've got any, what are your what is the scope for adopting this in organic farms? Have you developed any smart organic agriculture, IoT of things? Because organic farming is the in thing now, and especially at different stages of the crop, it has to be monitored that there is no use of any chemicals or any other outside material, uh, right from sowing up to harvest and even post harvest, especially for vegetable crops and fruit crops.
Yeah. So, in fact, organic is one of our focus area, and Napur, as I mentioned, like we are two organizations. Napur stands for Nature Pure Organic, so it is 100% committed to organic ecosystem, starting from sourcing and processing and packaging and logistics. So like this NOP and POP and the certification process. So we have captured
Yes.
the requirement, and we have been working on Napur supply chain, because Napur is a certified processor, organic processor. So, and we are also working with all the Jaibik Bharat and Organic India, and the other organic bodies from the rest of the world, like USDA, and there is one another in Australia. So these bodies have certain requirements in terms of soil monitoring before the crop seeding, during the crop cycle, and after the yield, how you store and transport. So it is called farm to fork. So we are
Okay.
I mean, this is a patentable thing, and there will be certain things which I will not be openly telling it right now, but your question is very relevant, and this is exactly our focus area.
Yeah, thank you. I think we will be in touch. And see,
Definitely,
especially
yeah.
now in organic, what is happening to certify individual organic farms, it costs about 25 to 30 to 50
Yeah,
to 1 lakh. So that's
yeah,
why
yes,
organic, all these firms, they are grouping the farms into one, and so that the
correct,
costs are reduced accordingly.
correct, correct,
So
exactly.
that sort of thing can be also done, I think, through your setup.
Yeah. So this is
Is
precisely,
it
even for
possible?
the
Yeah.
certification, it is called GOP, like group of farmers. So
Yes, GOP.
yeah, so they create this consortium of 10, 20 farmers, and
Yes.
in fact, I mean, if
Yes.
you ask me honestly, they are the only one who can afford such solution right now, because organic products come at a premium. So we are
Exactly. Yeah.
we are constantly working on the organic, and not just organic but also the natural products like honey, for example. So there I
Yes.
mean, there are
Yes.
certain crop like millet and honey which are actually, like, natural is as good as organic. It cannot have pesticides. So we are just ensuring that during the
Yes.
transportation or during the packaging there is no adulteration, and that how the technology is going to come
Yes.
in place. So that is the focus area.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. We will be in
Next is
touch because we will
Yeah,
definitely need your help. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
okay. Next question is from Mr. Michael. Mr. Michael, your mic is on. You have a question? I think he is not hearing me. Anyway, more questions from the chat window. Mr. Akhil has got this question. Can we do sorting of potato on the basis of dry matter content, processing versus stable variety?
Mm, okay, I do not understand the dry matter here. Maybe he can elaborate.
Processing versus stable variety, you want to know.
Okay, I don't understand this, because right now it is basically a we are trying to find out the grading, sorting and grading based on the. I'm
May
sorry.
I elaborate? I'm myself Akhil. I just
Yeah,
put
yeah,
this
Akhil. Yeah.
question. Dry matter, actually what happened, we have two kind of potato varieties. Dry matter
Right.
would be having less water content, like chip sona variety, whatever we use for the chip
Right.
potato
Right. Right.
flat. And there are another variety like Pukhraj and all those things what farmer grows. They are having the more water content. So they are not, and they are having high glucose. So what happened if we are going to make chips and all those things? So because of Maillard election, that will become black color. So that is not suitable for the processing purpose. So we have a very different processing variety is always costly than the table purpose. So now the what is a problem is coming, some farmer they mix both the varieties, okay, because processing industry they are buying chip sona, but visibly it's very difficult. So that's what I'm looking, because you told that the non-perishable item like onion, potato, these kind of things
Hmm.
you are working. So if you are working on potato, so dry matter content and reducing sugar, these are the important parameter. On this basis, potato processing industry they would be very much benefited. That's why I'm looking those kind of
Got it.
sensor
Got
or
it.
device.
So I understand. So I will tell you what we are doing with non-perishable now. So this is purely from the sorting and grading for logistic purpose, like container mapping, and also the stale. Like if you are detecting a particular basket or a particular crate is compromised, like a bad potato, which can spoil it. So that is being isolated based on a mechanical and a chemical process. Today I don't think we are putting any probe for detecting the water level, either in potato or onion or other like turmeric and all. So these are also coming under non-perishable category. uh, there is another project where we are trying to do the fructose analysis, as I mentioned, like that will help us to find the sweetness, like mango is sour or sweet, grape is sour or sweet, orange is sour or sweet. So that kind of analysis is possible with one of those probe, but there are certain economic criteria how we can do it only at a sample, not for the whole whole lot. So to answer your question, this has not been done, but I will certainly take it as an input which is very useful for us.
Thank you. Next question from Mr. Uday Kumar. He wants to know if there is any smart farm in and around Bangalore or Hosur where we can witness your product applications.
Not in Hosur, but near to Hosur there is Anekal. So we had a deployment which was in 2020, July to September cycle. I will just get some inputs, if what is active, because right now due to this pandemic, travel and other things are restricted. So physical visit and site is not encouraged, but I will try to get some videos and try to find out whichever is the nearest to Bangalore or Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore, Hosur, where we can take you for a demonstration.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Michael wants to say this. I am Mr. Michael Fonseca from Mumbai. It was an excellent presentation. I have already returned to you before the start of this presentation after I read your profile. I am interested in your organic products as we are certified organic for trading. We are online marketing company. This is what he has got to say.
Yeah, yeah, of course
Any?
we can do that. Thank you, Mr. Michael. I will get in touch with you.
Yeah, you are welcome. Okay, any more questions, participants? Okay, and that is all we have for now. Uh, I think we have come to the end of question round. I'd like to thank Dr. Priyabrata Das on behalf of Agriculture Information for taking his time to speak with us. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I'd like to thank the speaker, Dr. Priyabrata Das, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.